have Slavic leading this best of 5 series, of course, 1-0. Alright guys, welcome back to game number 2 between FXO Slavic and Creator Prime. We're going to have the orange Zerg player in the bottom left position here of Cloud Kingdom. We have FXO Slavic, and in the top right, what am I saying, bottom right, there's no bottom right on here, in the top right position, playing as the red Protoss player, we do have Creator Prime, of course, down 0-1 in this best of 7, or best of 5. But man, he can come back. I know he can come back. He's just a great, he's an overall very good Protoss player. But you know what, Slavic must have a little bit of momentum coming into this game too. Up 1-0, did an all-in build that worked fairly well. Actually worked really well. He got the win, so wouldn't be surprised if he goes for a similar aggression play, or maybe even going to follow it up with a little bit more macro-oriented Zerg play. But we're going to have to see exactly what kind of style we're going to see in game number 2 here from Slavic. But Marine King, aka Parting, I got to stop calling him Marine King, man. It's been Marine King that whole time on the actual overlay, but it is indeed Creator Prime. What is he going to do this game? Is he going to go ahead and open up Forge Expand, or is he going to go with a more conventional Nexus? Creator Prime doesn't seem to like going Nexus first in this matchup from the previous games we saw. But I don't blame him. Knowing the aggressive style here of Slavic, a lot safer to go ahead and open up Forge Expand first. So yeah, Forge is on its way right now for Creator Prime. Most likely going to follow it up here with either a 17 Nexus or a 15 Nexus. Looks like 15 so far. Most likely going to be a 17 Nexus here from Creator Prime. Sending the probe out to his opponent's base, just getting a little bit of scouting information. Meanwhile, Slavic at this point has not grabbed any kind of gases. So I don't think he's going to go for any kind of early speed in this matchup. Looks like the spawning pool is on its way right now for Slavic. Probe getting in the main base of his opponent. Going to scout everything. Not going to see any kind of early gas. Sees the spawning pool. And it's actually going to be a 14 pool, a 15 hatch right now coming out for FXO Slavic. Probe being a little bit annoying. So important to go ahead and do this as a Protoss player. You do not want your Zerg opponent to expand as freely as possible. They just have such a huge economic advantage if you go ahead and do that. Sync Sling's on the way right now for Slavic. Probe still being a little bit annoying right now for the Zerg player. Looks like Hatcher's going to go down, and that's fine, because behind this, Creator is not, he shouldn't be scared of any kind of all-in, because he saw no gas in the main base of Slavic. There are 6 slings on the map right now. He's going to go ahead and grant himself a little bit of map control. The Probe is going to go down. Back home, Creator is going to go ahead and expand. Nexus has been thrown down for the Protoss. Gateway as well. And the cannon. No kind of gas is being grabbed yet. Looks like there we are going to see 1 and 2 gas is going to get grabbed right now for Creator Prime. And very standard opening so far from our players. Now, having a little bit of an idea in terms of Creator Prime's PvZ, I would think he's going to go for early gateway pressure, followed up by an expansion. A lot of times you do see like a +4 expansion, a +5 timing, +1 of course being that ground weapons, and that can actually do significant damage. And with that build, you're not doing anything, you're not really trying to kill off your opponent. Your main goal, going for a 4-gate +1 Zealots, is to go ahead and deny that 3rd expansion, keep the drone, keep the Zerg opponent, you know, on his toes, sort of continuing his drone production. You do not want him to make as many drones as possible. Use those additional larvas into units, which can sort of give you an even footing with the Zerg, with the Protoss player. But it looks like there is a cybernetics core here being built for Creator Prime. Zealot has been built as well for the Protoss. And production tab, just drones in production right now for Slavic. He's feeling rather safe. This stage in the game, you just want to build up your economy, get as many harvesters as possible, maybe even throw down a roach warren later towards maybe the 6:37-minute mark, and just, you know, pretty much hold off against your Protoss opponent. Looks like the Probe going to try to make its way again across the map, going to scout. Does he have any idea there's a 3rd expansion? Prime, okay, so Creator has not scouted the 3rd expansion yet. Looks like the Probe will make its way, and this is such valuable information right now for Creator. He needs to make sure that Slavic's on 3 base, and he is going to go ahead and confirm that 3rd expansion. Back home, Slavic, harvester advantage at this point in the favor of Creator Prime, of course. 33 probes to 32 drones. 3 additional drones going to hatch right now for Slavic. Back home in Creator Prime's base, we're going to see go ahead and grab 2 additional gases here at the natural. He is going to be up to 4 gases rather soon, and this is not looking like it's going to be on all-in. If he was going to go for any kind of quick 2-base all-in, these 2 gases would have not been invested so early here for Creator. Something that I'm thinking he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and try to expand with a little bit of light pressure. Now, there hasn't been any kind of robotics facility being thrown down from Creator. We don't know exactly what kind of tech path he's going to go for. He does have +1 on its way. Slavic very, very alert in terms of staying on top of his opponent's expansions, making sure there's a Ling at the third. We'll give you so much more information. Just great map control overall from Slavic. A few Lings here. Even going to go ahead and control these watchtowers. Just very, very nice overall map awareness here from Slavic. There it is. Looks like there's going to be 3 additional gateways here being thrown down for Creator. Prime, Twilight Council also going to get thrown down. There is an Overlord. That is a very, very valuable Overlord. Going to go ahead and scout everything. Seize the gateways, seize the Twilight. Going to go ahead and also continue Sentry production is going to be Creator Prime. And back in Slavic space, there is a Roach Warren on its way and an Evolution Chamber. This is very standard timing to go ahead and grab your gases, get your Evolution Chamber, get your Roach Warren, as well as your Metabolic Boost. And he's just playing very, very safe. This is a safe, solid build from Slavic. Any kind of 2-base timing from the Protoss, if scouted properly, will most likely get negated. But it looks like Prime going to move across the map right now. Creator, actually. Keep calling him Prime, excuse me. But there is a bunch of sentries. These sentries are going to be very, very important in this next engagement if he decides to attack. Because he has built up so much energy on these sentries. Overlord going to see everything here. And immediately, what is going to be the reaction here from Slavic? Going to go ahead and start 10 roaches in production. Wants to be extremely safe against any kind of timing push. Even going to go ahead and make 6 Lings. And this is so smart right now from Creator. He has forced out units from his opponent. He's forcing out Spine Crawlers. And what is he going to do behind this? He is not going to go for a 2-base timing. He's going to go ahead and drop the 3rd Nexus and try to go for a more economic game against his Zerg player. And Slavic at this point has a bunch of options. He can go ahead and continue his Harvester production. He can go ahead and try to take a 4th expansion of his own. Or he can just make as many Roaches and Lings as possible and try to go for a counterattack. It looks like Creator going to move across the map right now. Doesn't have an Observer or anything. Looks like Roach is going to trap some of these sentries. It is so important to keep these sentries alive right now for Creator. You do not want to lose these sentries early on. Force Field's going to go down. And Slavic at this point is ahead in supply. 121 to 92. Harvester advantage is also going to be in the favor of Slavic. 64 drones compared to the 61 probes of Creator Prime. 3rd on its way right now for Creator. Observer on its way as well. And maybe even going to need to pump out a few Immortals, Creator, because it's going to be very, very hard to hold any kind of Roach counterattack. There is the Immortal on its way for the Protoss player. Is Slavic going to take a 4th? That's the question, guys. I don't know if Slavic's going to go ahead and take a 4th. I think he's going to be a little bit aggressive. He's still making additional Roaches in production. He is actually up to a bunch of Roaches on the map right now. 29 Roaches right now for Slavic. Way ahead in supply. 144 to 104. Looks like there's a few Roaches going to make their way into the 3rd expansion. 1 cannon going to go down. Actually, is the cannon going to go down? There it is. Looks like there's enough units here for Creator, though. These force fields are going to be so important to go ahead and try to trap these units. But again, an additional counterattack here from Slavic, moving into the natural of Creator Prime. 2-pronged attack here from the Zerg player. Immortal's going to go down. So huge. What a great pickoff right now for Slavic. A lot of these sentries and stalkers are also going to go down. Roaches making their way into the natural. Meanwhile, there is another attack at the 3rd expansion here of Creator Prime. And Creator Prime kind of put in a position not knowing where to defend. Just not in a good position at all the way down to 107 supply. What does he have in production? He does have another Immortal in production right now. Is Creator Prime. A lot of units are also going to go down here at the 3rd from the Protoss. Roaches killing off Harvesters in the natural. And Slavic being so aggressive behind this. He's going to go ahead and get Burrow, continuing his creep spread, which is extremely important to do as a Zerg player. Continuing to reinforce with more Roaches, 4 additional Roaches. He's going to go ahead and get started on his Tunneling Claws as well. Blinking is complete. Blink is complete right now for Creator. So that's definitely going to give him a little bit of map control, but that is just way too many units right now. Forceful going to go off, trying to save this Immortal as quickly as possible. Roach is focusing down so many of these sentries. Immortal even going to go down again. Slavic is just so aggressive in the ZVP matchup. Creator does not have enough units. He absolutely does not have enough units. 21 Roaches, 11 more Roaches, 19 additional Lings on its way. Blink is also complete, as I mentioned before. That's going to help out a little bit, but man, something that Creator does have for him, though, is he still does have that 3rd expansion up and operational. And that is, man, 166 supply to 108 of Creator. Additional Immortal on its way. Production tab sees there is missile attacks level 2 on its way. There's going to also be +2 here for the weapons of these gateway units for Creator Prime. and rocks are going to go down. And Slavic is he's kind of committed to this at this point. He's even going to have an Overseer in case of any kind of DTs coming into play here from Creator. Looks like the Roach is going to move in. Burrow is of course complete, as you guys can see. There's these little stitches coming out of them. And there is again, man, third expansion way under siege right now by these Roaches. Creator Prime kind of has to split his units a little bit better right now. Roach is trying to move into the natural, going to get denied a little bit by these two additional Immortals in production. But the Roach is in the third, taking out additional probes. Nexus might even go down. More Roaches into the natural. He might even be able to get a sandwich. Blinking away is going to be Creator Prime. Focusing down the Immortal again. Beautiful pick off once again for Slavic. That is just so many units, and Creator is in a terrible position, trying to blink away. Coming in from two angles is going to be our Zerg player. 143 supply for Slavic, 90 supply for Creator Prime. That is a lot of units, man. 7 additional Roaches on its way. That's great blinking, though. I'm going to give some props here to Creator Prime, doing a very good job of blinking away, and not doing a bad job at all of holding. Now what I'm going to ask myself is, Slavic is he overcommitting here? Is he actually investing too much into this attack? The 4th is on its way. That's great. Harvester advantage is actually still in his favor, 66 to 61. So he's not really playing a low eco Zerg game, but he's kind of being a little bit too aggressive. Now we're going to finally see additional drones kind of go back to his Harvester production. 16 drones in production right now, moving in again into the 3rd expansion of his opponent. And I think Creator Prime is going to be able to finally hold off against this. No kind of double pronged attack is going to be in position this time. It looks like Sentry's going to use that Guardian Shield. And great defense. I'm going to give some props to Creator Prime, doing a really good job of defending against this. And Slavic is not in a bad position at all, given the fact he did do a lot of damage early in this game. But his 4th is delayed. That's like a 15-minute 4th right now from Slavic. He needs to go ahead and continue making his Harvester production. He's up to 80, I believe, right now. Harvester advantage for the Zerg player is going to be 80 to 71. Not bad at all for Creator Prime. What kind of tech is Creator going to go ahead and follow this up with? Still only on robotics right now. Blink is of course completed. Maybe even a Colossus transition right now would be a little bit good, or a little bit of a good option right now for Creator Prime. But I don't know if that's going to be the case. He's going to go ahead and get started on his Ummer back home in Slavic's base. We are seeing an infestation pit has been thrown down. Where is that infestation pit? Where is that infestation pit? Okay, there it is. We are going to see also pathogen glands on its way. Spire on its way. This is a great transition for Slavic. Knowing that he has himself the map control, he has the advantage in this game. He's going to go ahead and try to do a little bit of a muta transition, which is going to be good. But Creator Prime kind of already has... he already has Blink, so not the best option. If he can go ahead and force his opponent to make additional mortals, mutas will be fantastic. Force Fields going down. Creator Prime really trying to stall for as long as possible. Hive on its way, so he is definitely looking like he wants to go ahead and go into Broodlords. Looks like there's a little bit of a Link counterattack into the natural. Even a few Lings going to make their way into the main, doing so much damage right now to the economy of Creator Prime. Roach is trying to move into the 3rd. So many Protoss units right now. A bunch of Immortals. Actually, a few Immortals as well as a few Stalkers will be able to negate these Roaches here from Slavic. But he is playing a great game. He has done a lot of economic damage. If you look at the Harvester count, 64. So Creator Prime lost about 6 in that previous engagement. But back home, Slavic continuing his creep spread. Decent creep spread up till now. Maybe could be a little bit better connecting maybe this area towards that 4th expansion. A whole bunch of spines being thrown down from Slavic, so he is definitely looking like he's going to go for Broodlords very soon. There we are going to see the Greater Spire on its way right now for Slavic. Additional spines. This is so important to do. You want to get as many spines on the map as possible in case you have any kind of counterattack, because you're buying yourself as much time as possible to go ahead and get your Broodlord tech out as quickly as possible. But it looks like Creator Prime is having no more of it. He is done defending. A very scary army right now for the Protoss. He does have +3 on his weapons, +1 on his armor. That is just Roaches. Roaches are not going to be good against this overall unit composition from Creator. And it looks like Creator going to move into right now into the 4th, possibly even trying to be more aggressive behind this, making additional Stalkers. Not enough units again. Infestors are going to come out. Fungals on these Stalkers. Beautiful Fungals being thrown down right now by Slavic, and that is going to do so much against these Stalkers. The Stalkers are evaporating so quickly against this Roach Infestor composition of Slavic. Greater Spire is almost complete. He knows he needs to hold this for as long as possible. Even a few Spines going to come in and help. Creator, maybe, I'm not going to say over committing to this, but that is just so much. Force Fields are not going to be any kind of help right now. Fungals again going down, and all these sentries. Immortals going to go down. What a sick engagement from Slavic, taking out so many of these units of Creator Prime. Creator all the way down to 113 supply. Man,